Hi and welcome back to my channel. Oh, there is spelling mistake. This is welcome. Oh, now, welcome back to my channel. So, in last video, what we have seen? We have seen how the Docker works, what is Docker, and we have seen how we isolate the containers. How the Docker isolates container is much better. We don't isolate. We just create containers and Docker isolate it from each other. So in this video, what we are going to cover, we are going to launch container. We will update something on it. We will install something on it, and then we will create our own image from that container. This is very helpful in various production environments where a dev team, a developer creates a code, commit it, and push it to a centralized repository. Okay, when the code is ready, you have to deploy it and you have to create multiple instances of that same code. So what will you do? Will you create a container, then run a git command, pulling that source code and setting up infrastructure like Nginx, Apache, whatever it is you are using, web server or something, and then launching the application? That doesn't make sense. Instead, create a one container, do these things one time, and make a copy of it. Okay, so we will see how it gonna work. So let's run our container from Ubuntu image. So docker docker run hyphen it. We will do Ubuntu and then interpreter will be bash. Okay, so we had Ubuntu image already, so it has created Docker container very fast. So here you can see we are inside the container. If I do pwd, we are in root, and we will check dpkg-l grep a package, any package. We will see figlet. Figlet is not installed, or is vi installed? No, there is no vim. This is the package name. So vim is also not installed. So what we are going to do? We are going to install these two packages in our container. So before installing any package, we need to update the repository, the package repository. So apt update will work here. So it is updating all the packages repository in this container. So now it is up to date. Now we are going to install. First we will do, or we will do it with the same, and we will provide -y. Now what we are going to do, figlet. So now it is going to install two packages. One is vim and another is figlet. Okay, you can see it is installing all the dependencies and other things. What is this? These are the warning, we can ignore it. Let's see, do we have vim installed? Yes, we have the vim now. Clear the screen. Let's check if figlet is installed. dpkg-n for figlet is also installed. Let's run the figlet and anything. So why to proceeds with our channel name. You can see it is now working. So now what we are doing, we will exit from this container. We are done with this container. So if we check docker ps, there is one container running. Ubuntu we have just created. So docker ps hyphen a. So we can see this is the container which we worked on. It just exit before 25 seconds, and this is the container which is already running since last 37 minutes. If we connect to this container, there will not be our packages. Okay, so let's connect to this. To connect to container, this is a command docker exec -it for interactive, and the container name or one container ID or one unique character of that container ID. It is very unique, that's bed. And the interpreter. Okay, we are inside the container. Let's check our packages. tpkg-l grep figlet. It is not here. vim, it is not here. So let's exit from this container as well. So now we are having two containers, and we have our packages installed in one container, and in another container we don't have our packages. So let's check images. So Docker images or Docker image have an ls or ls, that the same. We have only one image, that's Ubuntu, and we have two containers. One is in stop state and another is in running state. So now we are going to commit our changes. We have committed our changes in this container. So Docker commit, this is the container ID. Let's clear the screen and commit it. Give it a second, a moment. Now it is committed. Now let's check Docker images. There are two images. One is Ubuntu, which we have previously seen, and another is the one which we have committed just now. But it has no repository, no tag. So we are going to tag this. Docker, what we are tagging? We are tagging the image, then tag, and we required image ID. So this is our image ID. Copy paste, and we are making it as seems work. Okay, dokie. Now Docker images. We have repository for seems work. The tag is latest, and now we have our images. We have two images. One is Ubuntu, one is Wasim's work. So Ubuntu, we are not going to work anymore on this image. We are going to create containers from the Wasim's work image. So let's run the Docker run -it, and repository is Wasim's work. Let's create a container. We are inside the container. Okay, if we check tpkg-l grep figlet, it is already installed. vim, it is already installed. Let's exit from this container. Now if we run docker ps-a, previously there were two containers running. We have seen these two containers were running. Let me highlight it. Okay, now there will be more than two. That's one which is from our image. Got it? We have created a container from our image, and that container is having all the package which we had installed. If we run directly the command figlet, and then we are providing this is swap. Okay, it is too much for this command to print on the screen. So what it will do, it will create a new container from this Wasim's image, and it will run this command figlet, and it will print this message on the screen in this format. Here we go. Now if you see docker ps-a, there is again one more container which just created and got exited. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now what's the next step? The next, what we are going to do, we are going to do the same thing, but we are not going to do it the same way. The same way means we are not going to create a Docker container, then installing packages, and then running multiple containers from that image which we are going to create from this container. Instead, what we are going to do, we are doing a process to create a own image is from the Docker file. What is Docker file? In Docker file, we used to mention what we need in the container. If I do ls, there are so many packages. Okay, so let's create one directory. I will make a name as test with T capital cd test. Okay, it is an empty directory. pwd, it is in root test. Okay, now here what I am going to do, I am going to create a Docker file. The name must be the Docker file. Okay, and there are few commands for the Docker file. You can go to Docker documentation page. There are multiple example of these commands, and we are going to use few of from them. So the first one is from where you want the image to create. We can create image from our own image which we have created, that was seems work, that was the image name, or one we can pull image from Ubuntu, for Ubuntu from the Docker Hub. Okay, so we are going to use Ubuntu. Now after that, run is another command which will run the command inside the container while it is creating. Okay, so what we are going to do first is apt update. Okay, after that, what we are going to do, we are going to run another command is apt install vim figlet, and we don't want it to ask our permission, so we will going to give it happen y. So without interactively, it is going to install two packages. Okay, and now after installing that, what we can do, we can okay, I think that's it we can do with this, and we can run this command figlet, and we will do what seems work to be printed on the screen. Okay, so that's it. In this Docker file, we are going to create these files. Okay, and we are going to now we need to build our image from this Docker file. Okay, so to do so, let's run Docker image. Previously we run the Docker image commit. Now we are going to run the command Docker image build, and then hyphen t, and the Docker file is here. So we are going to name it new image, and dot is for present directory where the Docker file is. Okay, so now it has started. You can see step 1 to 4. We have 4 commands. So while building an image from the Docker file, it is going layer by layer. You can see layer 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is running one by one our commands in those layers. So what exactly happens behind this, when we run docker build command from the Docker file, it create layers, and that layers it creates containers, and it runs commands in those containers, and finally after final step, it combine all and create a new image. Now it is finished. You can see we had run these commands in our Docker file. It has run all these commands. Let's check from the step 1. Just a second. Okay, so step 1 was from Ubuntu. It has taken, you can see this number, these are the container number. It has created new container. It has taken a Ubuntu image, then it run that update command. The step 2, the step 3, it install figlet and IAM. As we had seen, it install all the package dependencies and all things, and then step 4 was to run the figlet command. So it run the figlet command for us. Okay, and now finally it has built the image named as new image colon latest. If we do docker images, now we have the third image named new image, and this image is containing all our changes. If I run docker run, let me show you how our container number increased. So you can see, so let's run docker run hyphen it. Oh Lord. Let's directly run from the new image, and what we are going to run from it, we are going to run figlet, and then thanks for watching. So it will create a new container and print this message. Okay, so let's summarize our today's work. What we did, we in the first section we have pulled one image, docker, from the docker hub. Then we have created container. Then we installed two packages inside container. One was VIM, second was figlet. Then we committed our container, and we have created new image, and then after committing the container, it create an image without any tag, so we tagged it as Wasim's work. And after that we have created container from this Wasim's work image. Okay, so that was the first part. In the second part, what we did the same thing with Dockerfile. Okay, we have created Dockerfile here, and we run these force command. Very simple. In the upcoming videos we are going to create multiple more containers from the Docker file. We will going to see what other commands in the Docker file. So for sake of this video, let's focus on these four commands. We did the same thing. We get the image from Ubuntu, we run update command, then we run installed command, and then we run the figlet command. And after doing this, we build the container, sorry, we build the image from this Docker file, and we run the container from this new image. Okay, so if I show you docker ps -a, there is one more container which just exited with thanks message. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye.